So it's been pretty much confirmed what we saw behind Will and Simone in the reveal of Shatterpoint is actually going to be what is in the core set. Now the key question there is what cost is this going to be? So let me show you this. About an hour ago, Atomic Mass Games posted this in the official Facebook group, and the key line here is at the top one. Check out 2 of the 4 squads from the core set. Okay, and we know that each squad is 4 person big, basically, or 4 models big, or 4 bases big. Therefore, we know there's going to be 16 models. That exactly aligns with what is on the box and what was behind Will and Simone. So that means it's going to be Ahsoka, Anakin, Rex, Bo-Katan, 2 of the 501st, some Mandos, and then on the dark side, if you will, it'll be Maul and Guy Saxon and 2 Commandos, Mando Commanders, or whatever they're called, Asajj Ventress, the B1 battle droids, 2 of those, which is actually 6 models, and then a super tactical droid. So that's effectively confirmed, right? Because they said that two out of the 4 squads were getting 4 squads, 16 models. So as I said in my 7 things you might have missed video, I believe everything that you see here is the core set. So that is going to be the 16 miniatures. Well, the 16 bases, obviously there's a few extra miniatures because of the B1 droids, but you get the gist. And I do believe we are going to get all of that terrain, 3 buildings and that walkway, which is massive. So the number of models is confirmed, then why would you show the buildings if it wasn't going to be the buildings? And considering they said it comes with lots of terrain, this is going to be the biggest core box we have seen from Atomic Mass Games or Fantasy Flight Games when it comes to one of their miniatures games. Gone are the days of the little thin X-Wing box. Gone are the days of the Legion and the Marvel Crisis Protocol chunky boxes. I think we're going to see an even chunkier, bigger box. Because otherwise, I don't see how you'd fit all this in. And then the key question is how much money? Now, the answer to that is how long is a piece of string? We do not know the answer officially. But let's try and look at what we've had in the past and try and estimate. So the Marvel Crisis Protocol here was £100 RRP. Not 100% sure what that is in dollars. Probably maybe like 110, something like that. May even be 100 at this point because of the conversion rate and the exchange rate. And you got 10 miniatures and you got some terrain. £100. Okay, reasonable. The new Star Wars Legion set, I say new, the Clone Wars version of it was £120. Now in this one you didn't get any terrain apart from the barricade, but you did get 39 miniatures. So it's a little bit weird because obviously in terms of miniatures, the Star Wars Legion one's much better, but you don't get any terrain. The terrain seems to be the thing that brings up the cost of the Marvel one. If it was just the miniatures, they could probably have sold it for a lot less. So I would not be surprised if we see this core starter set. Now keep in mind, a lot of core starter sets are generally like discounted to get people into the game, but I would not be surprised if it's £140 or even a bit more. I think we might be looking at like Games Workshop pricing here. It could very easily go up to 150, 160. Obviously, we will find the answer out in January, but until then, we're left with pure speculation. Now that we've seen what's inside the box, we're pretty much sure like what's coming. Another question is going to be, how much will the squads be? Now, it seems that these things are going to get sold in squads. You know, they actually mentioned it, 2 of the 4 squads. So squads is the terminology we're using. That seems to be what we're talking about here. The individual squads, I mean like expansions when they come on their own. So Obi-Wan, for example, will be 3 of the miniatures. How much will he be? Now, if you looked at Marvel Crisis Protocol, the cost per miniature was really quite high in that game. Generally, you're paying like £25-30 for 1 miniature. Are we going to see the same for the Star Wars game? That seems, if it's that much, then you could be looking at like £50 an expansion. That sounds crazy to me. I don't see why anybody would do that. But if they went with something more like the Star Wars Legion pricing, where you can get 6 miniatures for, I don't know, £30-25, something like that, you know, then we'd be talking a little bit. So the cost of this game, I think, is going to be very, very questionable. It could be massively expensive, or it could be very reasonable. But the main problem there is, effectively each character is almost like a character. Like, that's a stupid, like, obviously repetition, but what I mean like there is in Warhammer, for example, the commanders are generally like 20-30 quid, but a unit is maybe 5 for £30. Shatterpoint seems to be doing this sort of weird combination. You seem to get 2 characters and then 2 generics, and they're all different poses and stuff like that. So whether or not you can even keep the cost down on those, I really don't know. But they must have a way of being able to afford this game. They mustn't be thinking £50 an expansion would make any sense. I think that'd be crazy. So let's see what they do. Maybe they think they're going to sell way more of this game, and maybe they know that because they know how much they sold in Marvel and they know how much they sell in Legion. So maybe they're confident they're going to sell a lot of it. Either way, I'm very intrigued Slightly concerned about the pricing considering all that's going on in the world, but I'm very intrigued about the pricing in this game. That core set just looks like an absolute shed ton of stuff, and I wonder if they're just going to go the full premium, this is luxury, you're going to pay and we're going to give you like quality stuff. It's exciting, but I am apprehensive. We'll know the answer, as I said, in January 2023, and then you'll have like 6 months to determine if you actually want to pre-order it, and then you'll know the damage to your wallet. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Have a most beautiful day. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.